Whew, we are back with another episode of the Dev Diaries. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a hot minute since the last video. A lot has actually changed. I've just been very, very busy. I haven't had time to record, but I have been working on the Wiser app. If you don't know, Wiser is an app that's essentially like a trivia app, basically, to help you get better with general knowledge and just kind of keep you sharp. I basically want to create something that I can just go on when I'm bored and I can just use it to train my mind, I guess. So at the end of the last video, you would have seen that I got a nice little UI set up. You didn't see it on my phone, but you saw it in the simulator. And what I did after that was I exported it to TestFlight and I was using it on my phone regularly. And I found myself just constantly looking at the UI and just going like, bleh. Which is funny because I remember when I designed it, I thought, this is amazing. It's gonna be unbelievable. So when I was using it on my phone, I remember as I'm using it, the more I'm like, oh, this UI is kind of just off-putting. And I think it's because I'm using different apps on my phone. So when I go on the Wiser app, it's kind of just off-putting because the design is just so different from anything else. So what did I end up doing? I redesigned the whole app, even the logo. But I kept the name because I really like the name. So if you take a look at it now, you've got a whole new logo, you've got a nice little splash screen, I've even got a nice little loading animation on the splash screen as well. Homepage, leaderboard, and profile page have completely been redesigned. And even the in-game mechanics have been tweaked as well. So instead of it being where you just keep going, you kind of get 3 lives now. So if you get 3 wrong, whatever, you're out. I even made new designs, new graphics as well. And I kind of like the game now. It feels just a lot more polished. And just a lot more easy on the eye. Now don't get this twisted, this took me a while to do. The redesigning took at least a couple of days, even though I was using Claude Code as well. I had to even tweak some of the database as well, introducing the lives aspect as well. And I had to kind of just hide away and remove a lot of the dual aspect. So if you remember, I had the idea of being able to duel someone. But I realized if I want to implement that, that's going to take me a lot longer than just getting the app ready without the duel and having it released to see if people are actually using it. Another thing I added as well is notifications. So similar to my spelling app and my fitness app as well, you get a notification from Wiser if you have not had a quiz in that day. So it will probably ping you 4 times a day. I think it's 4 times. And it'll start from like 10 o'clock, for example, and it'll say, hey, you haven't played a game yet. You keen to try it or what? And if you ignore it, you'll get another notification in probably 2 or 3 hours later telling you, hey, come on, try to play a game real quick. And when you do click on the notification, it selects a random category for you and it gets you to the page where you're ready to start a game. And once you play the game for the day, you will not get any more notifications. So it doesn't spam you if you've actually played the game on that day. But yeah, other than that, I think this app has been probably the quickest to develop in my opinion. Granted, it's a lot more simpler than my previous app. My previous app was a fitness app and that had so many different layers attached to it. Now, what are the next steps? There's just 2 main steps left right now. One, adding analytics. So integrating post hoc just to track everything. So when the app is released, I can see how people are using it. And second of all, releasing the app. Testing on Android as well, because I have got an Android device I have not tested this on, so I need to test it. But other than that, it's just getting copyright in, screenshots set up, and just having the app ready to be uploaded and submitted to the App Store and the Play Store. And from there, I can push it on socials and just see how people use it. So I'm hoping the screenshots and the copywriting I'm gonna do are gonna help with the app's SEO version for the App Store. I think it's called like AEO or something like that. I want it to help hopefully just push it more to people generically without any ads or anything like that. But once that's done, I'm basically done here. If it doesn't get a lot of traction, that's okay because I'm still gonna use it, but I won't probably invest my time into setting up the dual aspect just because there's no point if no one's using it. Who am I gonna get matched up with? But once that's done and released, I have 2 options in my mind. So one, I can venture out to a new idea that I've got in my mind because I've always got new ideas to build. Or I can kind of work on the marketing aspect of my previous apps because I'm not gonna lie, marketing wise, especially for my fitness app, I've been way too busy to set that up. So I think I'm gonna try to dive into that, get up some ads and so on, and probably clean up some of the bugs as well because when I use a fitness app, it works 90% of the time, but something weird will happen randomly. Like I'll scan a product that doesn't exist and I'll try to add it to the storage that I have and it'll error or something like that. So I need to fix that as well. But other than that, I think that's the plan. All right, so another day, we've got a lot to do. Not a lot, we've got 2 things to do, right? So first thing is we need to add analytics. So we need to be able to track how people use the app. And the second thing is I need to get some screenshots because as you can see, it is time for me to upload the app to the App Store. So we need to get analytics set up first. We'll do that. And we'll do both at the same time actually. And I'll show you how I do it. I'll be using Claude, just a heads up. So for analytics, I use post hoc. If you look at the activities here, you'll be able to see all the ones I have for my previous apps and my websites as well. You can see here Spello is being used quite a lot. If you don't know what Spello is, it's a spelling app I made. I'll put it somewhere here. The good thing as well with these analytics is I can hook them up to my Slack as well. So I've got my Slack set up here, and you can see I've got different channels. I've got a channel for Jude, which is my fitness app, bing, here, and I can track it when I get new signups, and if people get any errors, I can see the errors here as well. And for Spello is a crazy one because these notifications are literally endless. You can see we have different people that use this, and I even get to see their location as well, which is quite cool. So we've got people from California. Look at this, thermal. Where is thermal? I don't know, but it's quite cool to see. And if I scroll up, you'll be able to see someone has probably signed up recently. There you see. Fontana, California. This person signed up and they've been using it quite a bit. Anyway, so with the logs, I need to first have the sign up being tracked. When I say sign up, I mean when someone logs in, right, or creates an account, I want to be able to get pinged so I know, okay, I've got a user, so I can track them in my logs, right? So I can see at what point they fall off, for example, or at what point do they carry on staying, and so on. It's really good to get this information because it really helps you improve your app. Anyway, the way we're gonna do this is by using Claude. So what I'll do is I'll open Claude up here and I'm gonna make a plan. And the plan will be very simple. Set up post hog in the app. We want to track the following. Whenever a user signs up, whenever a user finishes a quiz / game, and what else? Whenever a user starts a quiz / game. Now, I don't want to track when they complete each question because I feel like that'll become quite spammy. As you can see here, this is a little bit spammy. If you think about it, if we're being honest, it's quite spammy. I don't need to know every single time someone's correct, like spelled a word correctly. Ideally, I don't want to know when someone signs up and if someone has used the app X times in an hour and so on. I don't need these many logs. So that should be sufficient. I'll put this on plan mode. And what I'll do is I like using plan mode because I like to double check what it's actually going to change because I don't like to just go blind and wish for the best. After that, we're going to make a new terminal tab and we're going to do another instance of Claude, and this is where we're going to get the screenshot set up. Now the beauty of having Claude and having your app running on a simulator like so is you can use this to take screenshots and it will actually be able to take screenshots for you. And what we'll do is I'll do this because if you haven't uploaded an app, and when you do end up uploading an app, things like these, this admin of getting these images right is the biggest pain in the ass ever. I'm telling you this now because you need to think about it. Apple are so specific. You can see here, they say 2688 by 1242. They genuinely mean it. There's no leeway. There's no other ways around it. There's no scaling it down by still having the same ratio. They don't care. Whereas Google, they're very nice and polite and very easygoing. You can put whatever they ask for, you can have the same resolution, but just scale it down and they'll be happy with it. Whereas Apple, it's a pain. Anyway, back to the work. What we want to do is we want to go and put it into plan mode again, and we're gonna say, okay, the app is ready for release. We need screenshots for iPhone and iPad. Here is the screenshots needed. What I like to do is I like to do this. So Command Shift 4 gives me this little a screenshot type thing. I can screenshot it. And then I can go back to Claude and I can drag it right here. And I'll say, create me screenshots for different aspects of the game. Now here's where you can be smart with it as well. This is where AI can become really, really handy because yes, I can take a screenshot of me playing the game and everything, or I can just generate mock data and use that as the screenshots because it's mock data, it's not changing the code, it's not updating the functionality of the app, it's just adding mock data, it's just replicating a scenario. So that's what we're gonna do. So what I'm gonna say is use mock data with different names and random questions. You don't need to use the DB at all here. And now we just need to mention the scenarios. We want the following scenarios. I can't spell. Leaderboard page. Any other scenarios? What do you think about? Also the achievements page. When I say achievements, I mean this. If you go down here, you can see the different achievements you can crack. You can see there's even my face. You can upload a picture, by the way, if you want. Fun fact. Anyway, that should be good. I'll let that roll, and then we're gonna see what it's doing here for the post hog. That's completely fine, because what I can do is I can look at the post hog React Native setup. I'm doing it incognito because I know post hog sometimes shows your environment variables. Like if I did this here and I was logged in, it'll probably show me the environment variables, and I do not want that live for people to see. Install this, that makes sense. I will need a provider, that makes sense. And then it's just functions, right? Like capture. Yeah, perfect, cool. As long as it's concluding that, I'm all good. I'm not worried about the tokens because I'll add them myself. Okay, I had to pause there because that's taken way longer than I expected. We've got the plan ready for the screenshot, so I'm gonna execute that now. We're still waiting on the post hog one, so we'll give that a couple of minutes. You can see it takes quite a while, but I wanted to talk about something actually while that's loading. Also, another cool thing I've been doing is I've been reading more, right? I've got this Kindle and I've been reading different books. I was currently reading the, what's the book about Nike, Shoe Dog, right? I'll put it up here. It was okay. Spoiler alert, but not spoiler alert, but I thought it would be the story of like a super underdog, right? Even the blurb, I think, talks about it being underdog, but one, this was a long time ago. This is probably like in the 60s, 70s, I think. I could be wrong. I'll put it up here if I'm wrong. But you'd think this guy came from nothing and had nothing, but bro, this whole, like, when he started the company, it was called Blue Ribbon, I think, or something like that. It wasn't called Nike at that point of view, at that point in time. But one, he got the shoes from Japan. Do you know how he did that? His dad gave him money to travel the world, dude, which included Japan. And do you know how he got into a meeting to actually get the shoe deal, his first pair of shoes? Guess what happened? His dad knew someone that was in Japan that hooked him up. And throughout the book, I was reading it and I was like, he'll get in the jam, something's gone wrong or whatever. And he's like, I had to muster up the courage to ask my father for $1,000 to help me go back to Japan. And I'm just reading and I'm like, this guy just came from such privilege, it's crazy. And there's actually nothing wrong with that. I'm very big on, like, I don't think you should shit on people that come from rich families because they can't control it. It's not their problem, like, it's not their issue. They didn't do it on purpose. But I do have an issue with advertising a book saying self-made from nothing when you obviously are not, bro. If you were someone that grew up with nothing, this probably wouldn't even be a company. Anyway, rant over. What I was trying to say is I got another book I'm gonna start reading. It's called The Pragmatic Programmer, I believe. I always hear a lot of people raving on about it, so I'm gonna read that and I will probably give a review or track my journey as I make these videos. That was a whole bunch of ramble, but what I'm trying to say is read, okay? You guys should read, it's good, it helps your attention span. Just read. And after a million years, the plan for the analytics has been set up. So I'm gonna activate that right now. The screenshots are going quite well, actually. You probably can't see it, but it's actually doing it over here in another one. So it's got mock data displaying right now and it's taking screenshots of it and it's getting it ready for me, which is super, super handy. Okay, screenshots are done. I'm not gonna lie, they look kind of trash, but you can see it here. So you can see it's got these, so question, this is the actual in-game app. I think I showed that early on in the video, but you can see it's just got this weird overlay here, which isn't the best. So I need to fix that, but I'll do that later on. That's not that big of a deal, but everything looks decent. I'm not gonna lie, it's looking kind of calm. It's done a lot of images though, which I do not know why. So I'll probably just tweak that. This is the part where I think AI is perfect because I cannot express to you how much I hate just sitting there and clicking and just clicking, taking screenshots, dragging, typing out. It's just a pain in the backside. So I'll take this any day of the week. I'll just tweak this. I'll change the text around a bit because we can do better than this. And then I think the post hog is also pretty much done. I saw my first one, so you can see here, this first identify is from the actual post hog event. I just need to tweak it. Essentially what I need to do is I need to, what do I need to do? I need to basically add a prefix to the beginning of it, like this, see? All these, so wiser, wiser, wiser. So it starts with wiser, I know I can essentially use that in these destinations, I think they call them. So look here, you see destination, and you can basically create Slack messages, right? So for example, I've got one for my Jude app and Spello. So the Spello spelled correctly, and then there should be a Spello user. Yeah, Spello new user, and what that does is it listens for the new user, as you can see here, and then it generates this. I connected it to my Slack. You can connect it as well, very, very easy. Add it to the channel name, which is this one here, and then add its message, and that's how I get the messages. So I like having a little prefix for my apps. Anyway, that's pretty much done then. So what I'll do next is I'll just tweak these pictures and then I'll upload them here. I'll do the same thing with promotional text and everything like that. Again, very, very quick. So very, very boring and mundane stuff. But other than that, that's basically it really. So I hope you liked that video. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry. If you liked it, you're welcome. I'm joking. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So the next video you should see, the app should be live on Android as well, hopefully. And we will be discussing what we're going to do next, because I already said I'm not too sure. I have two options I can go with here: new app or improving the existing apps, involving marketing and so on. But that's a future problem. But yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.